Talking about the James Reddy calendar.
What about it?
I didn't know that there was a calendar, but I knew they had, like, on the top of their not their cans, fuck me, the bottle caps, they had, like, a little fun fact of the day or something. That was JR, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
There were a few different beers that did cool shit with the bottom of their cap. Remember the little green, like, glass kegs you can get of, was it Mickey's? Little short, stout, little glass, basically jars with a 2-inch round cap on it. And it was like a pictogram. So it would be like, fuck, man, I don't even know now. A P and an ant equals what? It's pants or something, right? They're just stupid little things. But what were you talking about with the calendar?
James Reddy had if I'm correct, it was a 369 day, not 365. It was a 369 day cap calendar. And so what you would do is you would collect random bottles of James Reddy, and they'd all have different symbols on them, whatever, that would correspond to different days on the map. And for the life of me, I can't remember what the extra days were for, but like fucking, I swear to God, it was 369.
The James Reddy leap years?
Always. At 5.5%, you have to skip a year.
Talking about drinks really quick, last podcast we just covered Hexo had signed some deal with Molson Coors Canada to make soft drinks and shit. However, we ran into my, the cannabis prof at Niagara College, and he was like, that's all well and good, but THC is fat soluble, and they haven't come up with the water solubility recipe.
Yeah.
Perfect,
you can't do it yet.
There are, we had Care. You know Care.
Yeah.
We had her on the podcast, and she was saying, like,
Shout out to Care.
She had, that was a good podcast. Hopefully she'll be back sometime soon. She was saying she has bought, like, soda pops and stuff before, but I guess they're just, I don't know, maybe they're holding the recipe because it's some black market company, and Molson hasn't figured it out yet. The Molson scientists aren't quite.
But water solubility like that and THC, they don't go together.
There has to be some kind of science there where you can break it down and make it cling to, or
but
add something.
But at the most basic level, it's not possible. So, like, whoever gets it out there and patents it first, they've got the edge on the fucking market.
I agree. So why are we dicking around with Hexo and Molson when there's already the company that MMJ has been buying from? What happened to them, you know? When I was...
Because they're illegal. They're an illicit company. That's the problem.
Okay, regardless, but it doesn't fucking matter if it's illegal. If there's the science there behind it, you think they would look past the illegal aspect and be like, these motherfuckers are changing the game. They're taking fat-soluble shit and making it water-soluble. Let's forget about that.
Yeah, but they don't even want to make edibles legal until next year, right?
Yeah,
like all that stuff. So, like, that's why they're looking at that.
Something else we talked about on the last podcast, after what you just said about edibles not being legal, University of Waterloo says no weed on campus, but you can make edibles in your dorm room. They've come out and said that. Yeah. Make your point. I got to grab some ginger.
So they're telling me that you can make edibles, no cannabis on campus, but you can miraculously somehow make edibles in your dorm room without cannabis.
I guess.
That are full of cannabis, huh?
I don't know. It's just funny.
I wonder how that magic happens.
Illegal edibles right now.
So it is like as you put it in the oven and as it comes out of the oven or whatever vehicle of heat that you're using to make this, as it comes out, does it just miraculously have THC infused into it? Because you can't have it on campus.
Clearly, I don't know.
You can't have it on campus,
I just thought it was funny.
Edibles.
I just thought it was funny.
How is it getting into your edibles? And like, can you imagine somebody with their little coffee maker trying to make like an edible in the fucking coffee pot? I could see that.
Done that, or a crock pot.
Yeah, I could see that.
Just let me move this out of the way of our game here. Getting some radio frequency today. It sounds like a football game or something.
Little hot plate.
A little hot plate.
With butane blows up their fucking...
Sid's
somebody's going to blow up their residence with butane on a fucking hot plate. I can already see it.
Sid's got a really... Oh, fuck, yeah, that's definitely going to happen. They're going to be like, fuck edibles. We're going to make BHO, right?
Exactly. I can already call... They're going to try with like a hot plate, or they're going to try with like a fucking skillet.
Syd has a really cool hot plate where you can, like, change the heat. Like, it tells you like 180 degrees or whatever, right?
And
I've got that weed in the oven right now. Fuck my life. I'm gonna start a video here for you while I go deal with that. I'm decarbing some weed that I've recently harvested and found it to be quite undesirable to smoke. So we're going the true tested method of the LPs. When you have shit weed, you send it to extract. So I'm going to make a bunch of oil.
Is that a thing you do?
That's a thing. Do.
Huh.
That's a thing do. Okay, I'm going to find you this video.
That's a thing too. We all time.
Okay.
Time all.
Hopefully this
thing
isn't
we
too
do.
loud. Hopefully it's not too quiet. Hopefully it works. Here we go.
All right.
The intention on the entryway is one way in, one way out, but done in a way that's, we call it privacy without barriers. So by federal law, people cannot see.
So Nova Scotia, they're doing things a little differently. Newfoundland, they're actually going to be able to walk into a store on Wednesday and buy their weed, right? Nova Scotia, they've like added sections to their liquor store, beer stores.
I've seen that. Yeah. We talked about this. I think
this is what we have here. I will be right back.
Here who are not 19 years of age or over. So we frosted the glass on the way in to allow enough natural light to get in here, but at the same time provide that privacy that we're required to deliver based on federal law. The 4 categories are how we will be grouping our assortments, if you will, to hopefully help consumers who are new to the category have an ability to choose what they're looking for when they buy cannabis. This work has been done with a lot of input from our partners, and we're going to have every single product that we carry is going to be categorized according to this approach. If they need time, they'll be sent to our discovery tables. As you can see, there's 4 iPads basically at each location, and the consumers can work through this themselves, or they can work through it with one of our employees. Well, having beverage alcohol and cannabis sold within the same box is very new. It hasn't been done, to my knowledge, anywhere else in the world. And so it's going to make it a very different in retail environment than you'll experience in any other jurisdiction, certainly in Canada, that I'm aware of. And it does bring different challenges, as we've already talked to, but it's also very exciting because it allows us to integrate our workforces and save a fair amount on labor and use the same great expertise that we have as the NSLC. But the bigger challenge is really running the customer transactions through both locations. Our beverage stores are very busy stores already, and adding to it additional transactions for the cannabis side is definitely going to be challenging for us. And we're up for that challenge, but it's going to be some learning. Do people shop the same way? Do they come at the same time of day? How do they interact with our staff? It's going to be a very different experience. The average beverage alcohol.
You're going to be there to buy your weed. You're going to be there to buy your liquor. But if it's your first time buying cannabis and you're buying liquor, it's a second thought. You just kind of grab what they tell you. You see all these different colors and all these different categories, and you're like, oh yeah, maybe that pertains to me. Yeah, maybe I'll grab that.
Catch me up.
Really, do you know what you're getting?
What are you talking about? Just how it was like calm, relax, all that different shit?
Yeah,
it's just reasons to come back, right? Oh, I didn't like this one. Let me try this one.
Yeah,
By
but
then,
I don't like the idea of the whole thing in general, especially for people that have smoked for a long time. It doesn't seem...
Relax,
it doesn't seem inviting.
unwind,
It seems more
something.
discerning than anything. Like, I don't want to try something that says relax. I want to know if it's an indica, a sativa hybrid.
Oh yeah, they're trying to hide all that shit.
Yeah,
It's
no,
funny
that's what I
that
wanna
they've
know.
actually used the phrase enhance, right? Because everything else is relax, unwind. What was that one again? Well, no. It would be interesting to see what that.
The average beverage alcohol transaction is 3 minutes.
Because
We expect the average transaction in here to start to be between 20, and we're hopefully about 10 minutes. But it's going to be a lot long, challenging environment to move.
I want to see what it is.
I don't know. It's a
Way
bit
out.
silly.
Here,
But done in a
center.
way that's
Okay, so
we call
that's
it way out.
that's kind of the
but
hippie thing. Relax, unwind, center, but then enhance. Like that's always been the something stoners would always say, like the enhancement stoners from Half Baked. You seen Half Baked, right?
Yes.
Where they're
Oh, yeah.
explaining but that was always kind of the.
Very
I'm
good.
surprised they're actually taking that and, what am I trying to say here? It's not a route I would have expected the Canadian government to go down, saying like this might actually improve your life.
But is there
You know what I
enhanced
mean?
just like a really strong sativa that's going to give you this massive psychoactive buzz and is going to make you feel
Enhance.
it, right?
Enhance.
What is, like, that's what I mean, though. You
Enhance.
don't really know what you're getting. They tell you these 4 different categories and these different colors, but, like, that's not, to me, as somebody who smoked, that's not inviting. That's not making me want to try
weird.
something.
It's weird. Like
I'm looking at that and I'm like, okay, what are the strains?
Mm-hmm.
And can I look at it up close? Can I smell it? Can I maybe feel it?
let me just see what.
And
this
like,
gentleman
look,
has
there's
to say
boxes
here.
all behind him.
Oh, yeah,
it's just boxes
Across
of-
Canada,
yeah.
it's hidden. Yeah.
It's
Somebody
just
goes
like-
and grabs, and I'll take a pre-rolled, 1 gram joint, please, and they give you a little cush tube, and away you go.
But I want to see what I'm getting. That's
Our
my
staff. It's going to be a very different experience. The average beverage alcohol transaction is 3 minutes. We expect the average transaction in here to start to be between 15 and 20, and hopefully we can get that down to about 10 minutes. But it's going to be a lot longer, which means it's going to be a much more challenging environment to move people through.
I disagree with that. The people who are going to be going in there, they're not going to know what the hell they're looking for. Somebody's going to
take
say,
time.
try this. I don't know. I think it's going to be
It's gonna be a while.
people are going to see the lineup behind them and be like, I don't want to hold this guy up. He might actually know what the fuck he's here for, right? So I'm going to talk to you behind the counter and be like, I'm a first timer. Hook me up something not too heavy. Just give me something. I want to go in and out. I'm not
I
really
wanna
comfortable
go quick,
being here,
yeah.
but I want to try this. I got homies waiting back home. They're all, getting out of church right now, and I'm bringing the drugs. Let's do this.
The drugs.
You know what I mean? I think
I'm
there's going to
coming
be a
from
lot
my
of that.
Mennonite church on my buggy, and you know what? We are rolling up a dirty old split.
And we're just talking about Nova Scotia. Isn't that where the Trailer Park Boys are from? Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
Those who know that they're not going to be going there. They've got plants ready at the fucking disposal, ready to get sold. Man, that's the big thing.
They've already got
Plants.
clones online that
Plants on
you can already
Wednesday.
buy clones online.
What are we at here? We're today's Sunday. Yeah, fucking 3 days. Oh my god.
Yeah, you can already start to buy clones online.
I didn't know that.
Costs a lot. You have to buy like a discrete shipping container for
Is it
on
from?
top of the clone
Oh,
itself.
it's from. So it's through the Canadian government, right?
No.
No. So you're buying it from the LPs.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So you've got to buy the plant itself, and then you've got to buy like this discrete container to ship it in, which itself
need to
costs like
buy the
$35.
box.
And it's not just
Oh,
like
I
you
need
can
to
dispose
look
of it, but
into
you can't reuse it.
this. So you
They
need
were going on
to-
about it at work. I can't remember the specifics, but
Clone
yeah.
box for mail.
Clone box.
I'm gonna look into that for Wednesday. CanCast 10. Oh my god. I'm slacking so hard. Let me make sure we're still fucking filming here, because I don't know what happened with the last podcast, but I had to the file corrupted. So I went to bed that night. I had planned to get it
one
all,
with care?
upload it. It corrupted, right? So
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
oh, I'm so pissed. It was like 2-hour podcast. And something went wrong with the file. I slept on it, woke up at 5 a.m. the
Came
next
back?
morning. Didn't come back, but something the night before I stayed up till 1, 2, getting all these different video file fixers, video file converters, just trying to do something. And then it fucking dawned on me after a couple hours of sleep. YouTube. Uploaded it to YouTube because the file was still there,
Yeah.
and it was still 3.5 gigs, so it was there. It was just nothing could open it. Even VLC couldn't fucking open it. So something.
But
was,
you're like, oh, maybe.
So I'm just like, okay, well, it's still there. I know it is, and you can play the video for 12 minutes before it dies.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, fuck it, I don't really know what else to do. Threw it on YouTube. Waited the 3 hours for the thing to upload. So that was kind of good, because it meant all right, we're trucking through this thing here, we're processing, and lo and behold, it went up. So it was on YouTube. I downloaded it off YouTube, and then I chopped and chipped and made it all fancy schmancy the way I like to do. I was lucky, man. I was so
You
happy.
had to do a loop-to-loop, but you made it to the end.
Well, because I want to have Wednesday be the number 10.
Yeah, 100%.
But I was gearing up to be all right, well, at least I got a book full of notes here that I just went through with the girls, so I'll just grab somebody else and redo it. But luckily it didn't come to that. So as I was saying, just let me make sure we're still recording here and I didn't waste that whole spiel. Welcome back, CanCast, ladies and gentlemen. This is CanCast 9. I am joined once again, with my friend Griffin Wright. Cheers, buddy. We're a little bit late to the intros here, but
was it recording the whole time?
it was, yeah.
Hey.
Last time I missed it by 10 minutes too.
Am I
so
throwing in another face? I am.
you do what you gotta do. I uploaded some graphics and shit for the last couple, so
Yeah, right on.
it's not your mug there anymore, unfortunately.
You guys don't want... Give them what they want to see, Craig.
That was funny.
give them what they want to see.
Okay, where do we want to start here? Do you want to talk about G.M.O Weed? Do you want to talk about Quebec head shops going to court over shit already?
You throw me what you want to throw at me, and I'm probably uninformed, but I will give you what I know.
All right. I'll get this out of the way really quick. The last podcast, I opened with, like, the Draugr drug test 5,000. It's what the cops will be armed with come Wednesday.
In Ontario?
Countrywide.
Nationwide?
Like it's their option to buy them or not buy them, apparently.
Okay.
Just a little segue into this. 80% of Albertans are saying, like, police are not ready. That most of the cops are still just relying on, like, roadside testing. So, like, DUI testing, I guess that's, like, put your finger to your nose, walk a straight line, shit like that. I haven't gone through that crap. Last podcast, I talked a little bit about how I was, like, I went through, like, the roadside test one time after a night of party, and my buddy beside me was hammered. He had fucking empty cans in the car, so, like, I got pulled out and not drug test, booze test, I guess. And
yeah,
blew under. Thank you very much. I was not drunk by any means. I was a smart boy. Sorry, so the cops are relying on, like, the roadside sobriety tests over, like, this new weed tester that they've got, because apparently this fucking device, the THC versus impairment thing, that's kind of up in the air right now. Everybody's saying that, well, there's the people saying that you shouldn't be driving with anything in your system. Fuck you, computer. And there's the other people who say, like, you know, they use it every day, they can drive high. There's a tolerance factor that you have to take in consideration. I could have, you know.
But they haven't done the research to that.
There's
right?
no
That's
research there, right. And, you know, the I think it was the Edmonton police force are like, we're not spending money on these things, putting people away with these tests if it's not fucking legit. Legit, even if the test is, you know, correct, which I'm going to get to, it doesn't it's not 100% yet. There's no, like you said, research that high THC means high. I can't fucking drive.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. Because, like, I've seen people who, and I'm not going to say I don't feel super safe while I'm with them, but I've seen people who are driving. I don't think that they're a danger to anybody while they're driving. You know what I mean? Like, I've been with people who have been high, and, like, maybe I don't feel 100% safe, but I don't feel like I'm at risk at all.
I woke up today, did my thing in the washroom, and then I went out to the garage for a smoke. And then around noon, 1 o'clock, I drove for an hour and a half home to St. Catharines.
Yeah.
I made it here, safe, picked you up, all good, no worries, did a little pit stop at the LCBO, grabbed some more drugs.
But the thing is, you waited, like, an hour and a half, 2 hours right before you left, and they think that's too little of a time.
They do think that's too little of a time. That's very true. And you do know yourself, it comes down to the same as booze and everything else.
Thing.
You know,
it's
like,
your body
fuck.
Weight, how you are as a person.
I've definitely opened the door before, sat down, and been like, not right now.
Too much.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, not right now. It doesn't happen too much on when I'm smoking weed. Again, I'm a titan weight, I like to say. But when it comes to booze, like, I've been at parties and shit before, and it's like, okay, this is boring. I want to go home. Hop in the car, and it's like, this is not a good idea right now. Yeah. So it's like, I'm just going to hang out.
Well, you learn to know your tolerance as a person yourself, right? If you don't learn that, then no matter what anybody's telling you, it doesn't make a difference.
And stupid people will always push the limit. And
go ahead.
No, that's pretty much it. Stupid people will push the limit, and that's when, like, the rest of us kind of suffer, you know, because the laws get I don't know. Laws are there for a good reason. The people who are overly drunk behind the wheel kind of get caught pretty damn quick, or they kill themselves, or unfortunately somebody else, right? They're not on the road for too long. But with weed, like, I've literally driven across the country with weed, smoking weed, like, driving through Saskatchewan on those fucking dead highways. Yeah. No cars around, going at a good speed, but there's nobody there. So
I've seen people who have had, like, 2 beers and, like, they're done, like, they're walking and stuff like. But then I've also seen people on the flip side who have had maybe half a joint and they are also done as well, and it's like you just have to know
that's tolerance.
Where your tolerance is at. And the thing is like the law can't regulate where your tolerance is at, especially with the way that they're introducing cannabis to the public.
The one thing they did get right, though, just to kind of segue off what you were talking about, introducing cannabis. Could you imagine Could you imagine if they fucking introduce or like let edibles be a thing right out of the gate? Is that the cat? Bless you. Holy fuck! Going for the record here. Come on, one more. Yeah. It's gone. Let me down, man. I needed that extra sneeze. I needed it.
Itching.
It's tickling.
Wants to go.
It's tickling. What was I fucking going on about? Edibles. Could you fucking imagine if they greenlit edibles on Wednesday as well? There it is. Does that count? Does that count?
I apologize.
I think that counts. That's fine. That's the guest mic. That's not mine.
Syd normally sits here, so
There you go. It's Syd mic. She should be here sometime soon. She did say she would be here. I have that weed in there too that I need to worry about. There's like 8 or 9. Are you good? Do you need a drink or something?
No, I'm good.
You got more beers, right?
It's just the sneezes.
And those fucking devices I was talking about before we get out of this topic also have trouble functioning in the cold.
Huh.
In the cold. And where are they for? Canada.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of an undershot there as far as, I don't know, I guess it's a German thing. There was a Scottish guy in the video, so I don't know. It's from somewhere over there. But I thought that was funny when I read that this morning. Trouble in the cold. How's our fucking games doing here? Let's see how my fantasy football's rolling on. This is a casual Sunday podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Don't expect too many riveting stories out of it, although I have some cool ones here.
What is this, the third or fourth Sunday we've done this?
Third, I think. The Jags are
Sunday's
not.
sure a good day, people.
Jags are not doing too well.
You might not realize it now, but don't go to church. Watch the podcast.
It's true. Church of Craig. The Jags are not doing well.
In the spirit
So
of Craig, maybe rest freely.
I'm not happy about that. Brandon Cooks is not doing well, and I'm not happy about that. So we're going to put that down now and move on to Hyacinth Biologicals.
Can I take a little?
Yes, please. Feel free. Hyacinth Biologicals.
Give me a background.
We are working on a new wave of genetic engineering firms across Canada, hoping to create recreational products and medicine, patenting genetically modified cannabis molecules. We're going to alter, or they're doing that by altering fermented yeast, and they're using the yeast as like kind of what's a fucking way to like building blocks to duplicate cannabis molecules. So say you have a strain. It turns out it cures cancer.
Okay.
Let's just fucking shoot for the stars here.
Yeah.
That fucking strain has a molecule or something inside it that cures cancer. Maybe a couple molecules that fucking works together. So these guys want to figure out that fucking recipe, that molecule recipe or that single molecule, figure out the shape of it, there you go, chemical structure, and they're going to fake it with like these yeast things, and then they can patent that shit.
I was going to say they want to patent
Correct.
that. Yeah.
So then all of a sudden you're growing something identical to something that's patented. So it begins. Right? They were talking about patenting strains before, and it didn't go down.
Company?
Hyacinth. So think those big fancy flowers that you get in like November, December.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
Not poinsettias, but they're the big fucking globe-like
where's this
ones.
based out of?
You know what? That's a good question, but they're saying they're going everywhere. I mean, I found it, so I think it was probably somewhere around here. It's probably, honestly, Ontario or West Coast. I'm going to put my stocks in Ontario just because of how many LPs there are here. Actually, it's not a bad segue to just show you this image really quick. Shows you who's covering who, province-wide. You know what I mean? Like what LPs are supplying.
Okay.
If my computer wants to be
and
a friend.
who is supplying this video to us today?
Oh, it's not a video, actually. It's just a not working picture, I guess. I gotta figure out why it keeps doing those fucking pop-up. Oh, that was a nasty catch. Or a nasty not catch, I should say. Let me full screen this bad boy. I'll put it up on my editing later. So we got 7 acres doing BC, Alberta, Manitoba, Ontario.
Sorry, can we preface this with this is all the LPs in Canada, correctly? Like as of right now?
As far as I know, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this is for your announced recreational cannabis supply deals. So there may be other ones that are not doing rec.
Okay, continue though. Sorry, just wanted to double check.
No, yeah, it's a good call. I'm just looking to see if Believe's on here. Believe is on there. All right. So we got 7 acres. So they're 7 acres also like Supreme Cannabis. I guess they're
Supreme 91.
I'm not too sure about that. Oh, that's the Shatter, right? Isn't that the Shatter brand? I don't think so then.
Okay.
Maybe that's why they're going 7 acres now.
Shout out to Supreme 91 though. Some good stuff out that they're producing there.
I'm a Honey Badger guy through and through, man.
Hey, no.
I love my fucking Breaking Bad like meth Shatter. Love it. Give me all of it. Shout out.
Can't hate on Honey Badger.
Nah, that shit's worth every penny. Okay, 7 acres, BC, Alberta, Manitoba, Ontario, Nova Scotia, and PEI. I haven't heard too much coming from PEI. I know there's one LP. Is it like Emerald Coast Cannabis or something, or Island? I think it's Island Grown Cannabis.
I've heard about that.
Okay,
I think you've
cool.
talked about that in the past.
Yeah, maybe. Again, Manitoba is not allowed to grow, so they are going to be relying strictly on their LPs to get their weed. Let's go provincially.
It's a very fickle situation, isn't it?
We'll go provincially here. So if you want to get Manitoba out of the way first, we've got 7 acres. We've got Afria, actually, if we want to segue over to Afria. So the greenhouse fucking environment isn't perfect. We both know this. We've seen it firsthand. We don't want to get into it too much.
Yeah.
But that shit's slowly going to leak out to the public, right? Like the information when, crops go bad, shit happens, whatever.
Happens from there, yeah.
Employees don't do their job, or whatever fucking shitty shit that happens at the big fucking weed farms that we have going on in the province and elsewhere right now. Afria, they're kind of jumping on the grenade here. Y'all good?
Yeah, how do I turn this up here?
You might just have to let her hang. So what do you want to do? Do you want to tilt it? You can tilt it towards yourself up here and tighten that bad boy. Yeah. So that black wheel, there you go. Afria, yeah, they're kind of jumping on the grenade here. I go on like crazy late night Twitter shit for weed, like my Twitter.
Sorry about that, by the way.
That's okay. My Twitter's like all weed. So like
Are you on Twitter a lot?
I don't tweet, but I read a lot of shit. Like
Okay.
I use it as a news source, basically, kind of like Facebook. I'll use a little bit for like topical news. Mostly, it's just like I'll Google, I don't know, LP News Ontario, and then I'll go from there. LP News. I'm really interested in the East Coast right now, man. I'm really hoping that like shit starts developing there soon.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I know the winters are going to be rough, but I can hermit for fucking 8 months if the 4 months is going to be what I experienced in August.
I get that. I haven't been on Twitter since, I'd say, grade 12. Like, I haven't even looked at Twitter. I haven't posted anything on Twitter since I don't know.
I was
it was
never
just something
about
that kind of fell
it's
off
only
to
recently
me.
that I've gotten on because it's just like a networking thing. And
It always seemed like
doing
something
the
that was
podcast,
just a little too
Accessory.
tedious. A little too tedious, yeah.
Yeah.
An accessory to some extra bullshit that I didn't really need in
definitely
my life.
extra bullshit.
And that I don't think really anybody needs. Like, Twitter's just...
I do get triggered sometimes, and I'll want to
Twitter's
fucking
dumb.
comment.
I don't go on it.
I never fucking comment on people's shit.
Yeah, no,
I'll
never
post
go on
things.
Twitter because I think it's stupid as fuck.
I won't post things, but I'll retweet. So, like, my teacher, man, this is a great fucking segue. We'll hold off on Afria. We're going deeper. We're inceptioning to the inception
We're rabbit
right
holing.
now. We're rabbit holing. So my teacher
We'll see you on the other
posted
side.
last night, 2 nights ago. No, it was during my podcast with Kara when I was talking about how, I'm not sure. Niagara College hasn't made a statement about what they're doing with their like cannabis consumption on campus yet.
Oh, but they have.
Oh, but they have.
Oh, but they have.
Oh,
but they have.
So, yeah, it's just as legit as everybody expected. You can consume where tobacco is consumed. There's designated areas already. So that little hut around the back of the school.
From what I knew, you weren't allowed to consume anywhere. Like, okay, so
It's to the private the private, what did they say? The private council's discretion. It's not a council. It's a
So
private.
which campus are you talking about?
Niagara College. Niagara College put this out.
Okay, because
They're affiliated with cannabis, bro.
Yeah,
like it can't fucking.
So mid September, I had a leaflet. I thought I had brought it here. I guess not. But it had outlined. Actually, I believe this on my first podcast that we actually did. I outlined what Niagara College had stated.
Oh, fuck me.
But they had said that you weren't allowed to consume it anywhere on campus. So this was, like I said, mid-September. Couldn't consume it anywhere on campus. Excuse me, sorry.
Okay.
Couldn't consume it in a car. Couldn't consume it, like in like the little wetlands that they have there.
So that's probably
Anything. The only thing that you could do was literally come to school high and not be a nuisance. That was the
I
only
remember you
stipulation.
saying that. I do remember you saying that. That might have just been like because we have the cannabis program there. It was probably like a preface being like, shit's still illegal, guys. We can't fuck around just yet.
Just
you know?
because, yeah.
But like,
So now they're saying
getting
wherever you can smoke cigarettes, you
forgot
can
my
smoke
little bubbler.
cannabis,
Motherfucker.
really.
Yeah, I was just gonna keep my little bubbler in my backpack.
But Niagara College is saying that.
Niagara College,
Really?
through like
Wow.
Bill McDonald tweeted that shit, like retweeted it, and then I retweeted it, just
Huh.
saying like you're allowed to wherever. And
So, like, that's during school operation hour, like
yeah,
operational
that-
hours.
Hey man, I'm going with it Wednesday.
So
fucking,
Wednesday you're
I'll
gonna go
roll
to
the
school.
dice.
You're gonna be like,
Yeah, I'll bring a little Duber. Well, yeah, I left my bubbler at home, but I'll bring a Duber for sure.
fucking do it.
Yep, we'll see what happens.
Tell them to go fuck themselves.
I wish. I'm a little peeved that I have to fucking go across the border for my trip because I have all these edibles that I've been saving. I was just gonna like dose like.
What are you
800
going across the
milligrams.
border for? I don't think we covered
I'm
that.
flying. We're going on like a exchange program. It's instead
Oh
of
yes,
instead of
yeah.
a fucking.
But I thought that's
credit,
not
yeah.
until the
Friday.
20th.
It's Friday. Yeah, we're getting there, bud.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's Friday.
Yep.
Oh
For
shit.
some reason, I thought we were going out of Toronto. That's fucking stupid
Buffalo.
for where we're at. Of course, we're going to Buffalo. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. So I spent a solid 2 hours cleaning out my car today and just making sure everything was out. There's no weed in my car. It's not going to smell
Yeah.
in like 5 days. And we have like a 4 a.m., 5 a.m. flight. So like the border's going to be dead when we're crossing at like 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried. Like
I'm excited.
I'm
for it.
already
That's
financially
awesome.
invested, so I can't like.
How excited are you though?
It's gonna be good. Again, like it's one little like obstacle to get through, but I can't imagine anything's gonna happen. The states just kind of put out a statement saying like if you're in the Canadian cannabis industry, we're not gonna fuck with you anymore, and
You're
so
allowed
like
to come over. We're not gonna say
exactly because I think they're on the cusp of like, fuck, these guys did it before us. You know what
And
I mean?
now they want the money as well.
Dude.
They want because you know how the states are. They want all the
I
money.
can't wait to see how much money these fucking greedy pricks make in the first month.
Yeah, you have to. I hope you do a podcast when you come back with some footage from.
I hope we do well. For the credit, we have to like do a vlog or a.
Yeah, you have to do that just so you can get the credits, right? Yeah, I remember we've talked about this.
There's 10 of us on the trip. I'm probably just gonna interview everybody on the trip.
Yeah, we've talked about this.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. No, it's gonna be good. I'm just trying to bang out the
Are
most
you
out
gonna
of
use
this.
some of that for your podcast footage? I imagine you would.
If I can work it in, yeah.
I can't see why not. That's a good segment right there. Just even if you just put on some like POV shit,
Yeah.
just you building with like a time lapse, man, that'd be fucking.
That would be cool. I'm bringing my GoPro, so that might be.
Yeah, do a time lapse, man. I'd love to see what you fucking do for the people.
It won't be much, I can assure you.
But if you're building houses though.
We're going. There's a couple days where we're like helping them construct a greenhouse or some shit.
Okay.
They were supposed to do it in February or something, but apparently the welder guy who's welding the frame together wasn't around. So like the teachers like made sure that.
I thought you guys were also building houses though now.
I don't think we're building houses. No.
I thought you told me that.
I probably just said that to make it simple for you. I don't know.
Well, now you're making me look simple, stupid.
Why would I do that?
I think you were Craig, yeah?
Yeah, like I said, I'm just
He
trying to
does this.
bang out
And
the
then I'm
most
just
of
like,
this
Craig.
fucking this stupid college thing. Anyways, that was a segue. Afria again. I didn't even talk about Afria. I said Afria.
Hey, Craig.
What? So Afria destroyed over 13,500 plants from their last harvest. You want to know why? They don't have the fucking numbers to fill their labor force to harvest in time. So they had plants that went over harvest, like past the harvest due date, and then they just had to throw them out. That's fucked.
Where's Afria located?
Afria is Leamington. I have a guy in my class who's from Leamington, and he went to Afria.
And they don't have enough staff to harvest their plants in time. That's a lot. But I can't.
It takes time.
It's a lot.
Okay, I think we're back. Yeah, we're back. Fucking stupid ass computer again.
What have we got with the games here?
That's a really good question. I'm not sure I want to know because fucking Jags are losing to Dallas. Who do we
Jags
got
are top
on
5
here?
defense, aren't they, right now?
Yeah, and they're getting spanked. I'm not going to talk about it right now.
No, what's the score? Come on, let me know.
I don't fucking know. What is this, Baltimore? That's Baltimore. It should be red zone. I was just talking about Afria having to destroy a whole shitload of their plants because they didn't have enough people to work the harvest for them.
Sadness.
So if there's people down in Leamington wanting to get into the cannabis job, I think now is the time to apply to Afria because they probably have another harvest coming up. I know a lot of people are trying to get to the 2-week rotation.
And they probably want to harvest all of their plants. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, they probably don't want to throw out another 13,000.
I imagine their investors don't want that either.
They said it was like a small hiccup, and they just need to stock the workforce better, I guess. No fucking shit, you do.
13,500. That's
13,500.
Yeah, 13,500.
That's
a lot. That's not just like you need to stock it. Like you really need to like
get
your shit together.
Fuck, give people jobs. People want to work in the industry. It's just
you're obviously putting people away,
or it's a bad gig.
Yeah, or yeah, you're right. Maybe the work environment is just so garbage that people have come and gone. It's a revolving door.
Not sure if there's a hair in here or if it was a row of bubbles. Oh
well, you should roll with it either way.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, getting way back on track here. So, way back onto the rails before we go off the rails again. So Manitoba's getting Afria, Aurora and MedRelief for the same company now. You have some of that MedRelief shit, eh? That's pretty dope. Who else we got? I know Syd's just signed up with Aurora as well. When I did my Namaste, I didn't have an option to get Aurora, or I would have, because I've been a fan of theirs for a while. Before I went out east,
that,
before I went out east, I was like all gung ho on Aurora. Like that's where I want to work, and that's they have some crazy facility out of the Edmonton airport, so like they're poised for a lot of
expansion,
international exporting though too. Like that's the big thing. They save costs in certain areas, and they say they focus on Canadians first. They say that. No, I'm just going to leave it at that. Who else we got from Manitoba? Believe. I've personally rolled some of those joints, I guess, that maybe will go off to Manitoba.
You never know.
Maybe.
With the Ontario sticker on the side.
Oh, true, yeah. So I guess it'll probably stay here, right?
You
definitely heard that.
I heard that. Okay, get ready. You
fucking
got a knife?
paranormal activity. I have a gun.
Okay,
I have a bow. I have a bottle. Like, which one do you want? That was
Who's there? We will
some
hurt
fucking
you.
paranormal activity.
Yeah, come
okay,
in.
You heard that this time.
Okay, it is Sydney.
Holy fuck balls. Third time's the charm.
All right.
Yeah.
It is.
I think we were off the podcast the second time it happened when we heard that shit.
He called you coming in, but you weren't here, and he got
I
me
heard
all
you like
freaked out.
tapping your nails on the door. The podcast had just gone down. My computer died, so I was like, fuck. Now she shows up. And I was like, stay out there for 5 minutes. And then I went to go check on the weed in the oven, and you weren't there.
There's nobody there.
And I was like, oh, I'm losing my mind.
Craig is losing his shit.
Please have a seat. Join the podcast. Syd Gunn. Yeah. I'm going to get through this Manitoba bullshit, man. I'm starting to think this was I'm going to just put this up at the end of the podcast, but I'm going to get through Manitoba.
Come on, yeah.
Because those motherfuckers don't get to grow weed, and it is beautiful up there.
No, it's
It is
sad.
beautiful up there. I've been to the highest point in that province. I have a picture of me standing on the tower of the highest point.
Which is what, like 25 feet?
Pretty much. You see all the tops of the trees for miles. For kilometers. Just in every way, yeah. Put my little John Hancock up on the tower. Took some pictures. It was nice.
Okay, let's get through Manitoba.
Manitoba, believe. Where are we at? Believe.
Manitoba.
And then we're going to get Bonafide. Never heard of them. Broken Coast, apparently the best flower in the
You've
biz.
told me about that, yeah.
Can Trust. Canna Farms, which is now called Vivo. Delta 9.
Yes, I've heard about
Delta
Vivo.
9. I don't want to misspeak, but I think Delta 9, like, gives out their genetics to other LPs. Not gives out, like, fucking...
Leases
contracts
it
them
almost?
out. Probably, actually. That's probably a good way to think of it. You can grow our shit, make money off our
For
shit, but
this
you gotta
long.
say it's
Yeah.
our product.
Yeah, under
Um,
our brand, under our umbrella.
Doja.
Doja, okay, yeah, that's under the
They're tied
under the
in with
Canopy
Canopy
Growth and under
now.
Tweed.
And I think they have a company, Haiku or some shit.
Yes,
where
they do.
they're-
They've been
with Tokyo Smoke and all that
Yes.
shit. Tokyo Smoke's those guys who came up with the $13,000 bong, though. I just like to say that and remind everybody every time that these people think stoners, natural people out there, are going to spend $13,000 on a smoking device. It was made out of, like, I don't know if it was ceramic or, like, I think it was 3D printed, actually, so whatever the fuck. But shit can still break, and all I'm thinking of is dollar signs. Are you just chugging vodka there?
just this one time.
Okay, bye. Yeah, moving on. Emerald not doing Manitoba. Emerald, I can't
What do you mean?
preface.
The Mountain Dew's not for anything. Like, it's not for nothing.
No, you're right. I'm not talking about Emerald. American, I said. Organigram. What is that?
Organigram.
Organigram.
Can you
Going
give-
to
can you give-
Manitoba.
Can we
Stop,
take
I'm
a-
almost there. Tilray, Tweed,
Wait, no.
and United Greeneries.
Okay,
going
can we-
to Manitoba. What
can
is
we
this
pull out
you have
for
put
2
down on
seconds
this
here?
table?
I know she put something down that's.
What did you just say?
But
Pull
can we
out?
look at Organigram and Tilray for a second?
What do you mean
Both of
look
them.
at? Thank God that was closed.
The
Praise
one
Jesus
thing is,
Christ.
I've never heard of Organigram, so can we like pull them up for a sec? I want to get some more info on them. That's
Give me a second.
no, take your
here.
time.
Sydney, you are completely out
and
of
then
shot
from there,
right now.
I want to pull into Tilray because I see
What do
they're
you see?
completely overvalued. Tilray's
Move
at
that
like
milk carton.
Tilray's at like what 140 right now.
Where's my phone? Yeah, Tilray. I've talked about them before. They're running the stock game.
But Organigram, I've never heard of them.
Organic gram
Syd,
cannabis.
welcome.
Oh, you have the football feedback coming in from somewhere. I don't know. Organigram cannabis. Let's see who we are. Atlantic, Canada's original licensed producer of medical cannabis.
Original.
Where the fuck are you from? Oh, they're from Moncton.
Really?
They're the
They-
Moncton supplier.
and they're saying that they're the original LP in the East Coast.
Yeah, Atlantic. That's cool. I'll have to look into them for Wednesday. I'm actually going to be looking into a few more LPs as well. This is a good segue here. We're done with that fucking bullshit. I don't know why I was thinking of putting that picture up there and going through it. I will just play that at the end of the podcast. So we talked about Nova Scotia.
What
really
is this
quick.
on the table here?
Yeah, what is this?
We never got to that. Special?
Press
Are they
that
actually
white
special
button.
though?
Yes.
There we go.
I'm just gonna.
Get in there.
They're so fucking good, man. Like, that's the best batch of brownie.
Oh, it's like a
I've
pizza.
made. Might be. I left them out all night, so
It's like a
I don't
pizza.
know how they are now, but
Of edibles.
you're not the first person who said that.
And they taste good.
Okay, so we got
Oh, thank
nine new LPs just got their cultivation
You're-
license.
you're
just
not gonna try.
squeezing in. I absolutely will. I just when I finish my drink here, just squeezing in before the fucking legalization wire. We have a company out of Brantford, Ontario.
Oh.
They have 5 acres of. Hey, Up Cannabis is in Brantford too, man. You got something against the tragically hit?
No, it's just that Brantford's a very
Shitty
damaged
city.
area as of recently,
Yeah.
and
It's a shitty
I really
city.
hope for the best in their community, but I don't see it happening forthwith. And if I could, I wish them the best of luck.
Do you follow Welland memes by chance?
Sure do,
Oh,
son.
fantastic. So you're all up on 9 Albert Street, and they closed that shit. And, that's rough stuff for the people living there, but say no to drugs, right? That's what it
Good
says.
luck to the world.
That's what it
Hallelujah and a J.M.O
Okay.
in.
So we're Good and Green. Just got their cultivation license. They're the ones out of Brantford. That's pretty much all I know about them right now. There's 8 other companies that just got in under the wire, and I'm going to get into more detail in each of them on Wednesday for the legalization day. We've got
Dun dun dun.
Canicure, AAA, Heidelberg. What'd you say?
Coconut.
Okay, let me get through this shit, and then you guys can have your fun.
What? Coconut.
But I'm here.
So,
How are you gonna get anything done when I'm here?
I don't know. We're going to try. I'm going to look Griffin in the eyes and go
That's
through
gonna
this.
be your
I'm
next
gonna do this
mission.
in-
Canicure,
Go
Ontario.
ahead.
AAA, Heidelberg, Ontario.
No, that's
Medicine,
so loud. That's so loud.
Ontario. Well, stop talking. I want to talk over you.
I was done talking, but you
You
didn't
kept talking.
stop, so I had to say something.
Royal Max Biotech out of Quebec City. Emerald Plant Health Source out of Quebec City. This weird company called... This is what came up when I searched these guys. 098951 BC Limited out of, you guessed it, BC. And Valens Agritech also out of BC. And Atlas Growers out of Alberta. So we got 9 new companies to maybe throw some resumes at after legalization gets their shit together, and they're looking for jobs. We were just saying before you got here, Afria down in Leamington, 13,500 plants they just had to throw out because they didn't have the people to fucking harvest them in time. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, pretty astounding.
That sucks.
But the point I wanted to make half an hour ago before the fucking podcast went down, at least they jumped on the grenade, and instead of other companies where it kind of leaks out over social media, they're just like, this shit happened and this is why, you know what I mean?
And here's
We're
how we're
working on it.
addressing it, yeah.
Exactly. Be crystal clear if you want to survive with these fucking sharks, right?
Mm-hmm. They'll eat you alive
Oh,
over the
fuck, I
list
didn't
of
talk
things.
about that yet. Quebec. The premier, he's trying to raise the smoking. Okay, it's 18. Legal age is 18 for cannabis and alcohol there. He's trying to up the cannabis age to 21. Even the prime minister has been like, bro, that's a bad idea. The fucking black market will thrive in your
And they're
province
drinking
like
at
nowhere
18.
else. They're
They're-
still drinking at 18,
Yeah.
but weed is 21.
Wow.
What cigarettes?
Who gives a fuck?
Okay, cool.
18,
Probably
Okay, yeah.
10. The French.
27, 43.
Oh yeah, like,
Right?
fucking,
Like,
they
Coming out of the womb smoking.
they like get their tobacco.
Tabernacle!
bag.
No.
Shut the fuck up! Who are you? What has he been drinking?
He's been drinking.
Oh my god!
There's the head shop owner I was talking to you about. He's like already planning to go to court with the Quebec government because of the fucking. Stay with me here, bro.
I'm here.
This
I'm
is
looking
good.
in the eyes.
Bill 157 in Quebec laws is like no more of the cannabis branding, no more of that shit. And he owns a head shop, right? So right now he's trying to liquidate all his stock for like 40% off. Anything with a weed leaf on it that says 420, anything like that. T-shirt. What do we got here? T-shirts, hats, ashtrays, like glass fucking weed jars, anything with a pot leaf or number 420 on
And what's
it.
the company?
It's not a company. It's just like a head shop. So any head shop that you've been to, like in the city, like
They're probably all just giving it away.
where do I get the bongs? Smokers Paradise, right?
Smoke pear?
Shit like that. Smoke pear, yeah. Those fuckers. This bong like slide just fits almost right because of all the resin we fucking build up into it. But beforehand, we went through all this
Res.
crap to like.
Dead.
Come on, bro.
What
Stick
the
with
fuck
me.
are
You're
you
not.
doing?
You're fucking not. This guy, he's just selling all this shit for cheap because these new fucking laws.
I'm just trying to throw you
I
off.
just
Obviously
got
it worked.
here and I'm so shook.
Obviously it worked.
Yeah, why are you trying to do that? You're not going to come back now. There we go. That's better. So first offense for this shit if he gets caught selling like smoke weed or fucking t-shirt with weed leaves or 420.
Holy mother of God, have you talked about this?
No, we're gonna get there once my weed is decarbed. $2,000, $2.5 for first offense, going up to. Wow, is that fucking right? $2,000 up to fucking $62,000 for first offense, and that shit can. I guess it's how much stuff he has in the store at the time, right? And then second offense, and subsequently it doubles every time. So the head shops are gonna be getting rid of their shit. You're
Real quick.
Just gonna dive in there. That's fine. She's just opening up my coconut oil.
Can I?
Well, you can't afford to fucking
I?
pay that kind of fine.
Can I?
No, go for it.
It just looks really big, and I need to see, like...
Do it on camera.
Okay. I was gonna get it off.
What was that? Yeah, any item that bears a name, logo, distinguishing image, design, image, slogan that is directly associated with cannabis, brand of cannabis, or producer is illegal. So there's like a lot of people who are kind of been living in the industry for years are saying this isn't legalization, but it's like or
What do you
prohibition 2.0. You know what I mean? Because of all the fucking extra laws and stuff that are coming down around. Just get right in there. Surrounding new legalization laws and what am I trying to say here? You know what I'm saying? Are you with me? Nope, he's in puke.
There's a lot of... No. God, no. God, no. What are you talking about?
All over
No.
their brownies.
There's a lot of extra shit for a lot of extra shit you don't need.
And the kinks will slowly be worked out.
They're looking at shit way too much more than they should be. And they're looking at it way too closely, and they're picking it apart, and they're saying, okay, this is how it should be done, this is this. But at the end of the day, they're going to look at it and be like, okay, maybe we should have looked at it as a general view and been like, okay, this is how people consume cannabis normally. Let's not
Be dumb
nitpick
about it.
and fuck around with it. Let's give them what they want.
It's just
Because if you don't, the illicit market's still going to thrive. It's still going to keep going. It's not going to stop.
very good, Sydney. Yeah, that's great. It's
Oh, did it like the beauty gurus with the hand that focuses?
It's yeah, no, it's just people like looking for reasons to put people away in jail for new weed regulations and stuff, right? You can have it on you, but you can't advertise it or anything like that. Eventually, you know, baby steps, one thing after another, there will be lobbyists and shit being like, what's the deal here? You have all this alcohol branding, but you can't have any like cannabis branding. It's really fucking
It's all just
stupid.
it's really just word of mouth, and that's how, like I was saying, like the illicit market will fucking thrive on that, because that's how they've always thrived, is word of mouth. And if you can't,
They'll buy all this shit.
yeah,
Watch,
you can't
there'll
really
be a
advertise
little,
with
such a
pictures.
smart idea.
You just hear all these companies that are all these LPs and that produce this and that. But
Yeah,
if you hear
yeah.
Bobby Joe from down the street is selling this, and your last 3 friends have bought it. Oh fuck, I'm gonna buy that.
Oh yeah. But like even shit as far as like I know in the library and stuff we've got like literature on cannabis and stuff that literally says, you know, cannabis a history or whatever. There's
The Cannabis Encyclopedia. It's a thing.
yeah. Like they're saying they can't even use words on publications like books and cannabis pipes, bongs, weed, joints, stuff like that. You can't say. It's going as far as like cookbooks and stuff that have to pull things. Bookstores have to pull things off the shelves because it's got like a weed leaf on the front and stuff. It's just fucking baby steps, right?
Well, it's just too much oversight, honestly. They're looking at it, and they still look at it as like a danger. Like, that's having a pot leaf on a cookbook. It's not going to inspire people to just fucking get ripped all the time. It's going to, if anything, it's going to be like, okay, well, let's see what it can do for me. How can I incorporate that into my daily life?
Exactly,
How can I make that part of a daily balanced diet
Like,
that I have? You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure.
Just like Fruit Loops or fucking Frosted Flakes. Like they say, it's part of a suggested daily diet.
Were we talking last podcast about like restaurants and shit coming in?
Can I quick pause?
Yeah.
You're talking about cereal?
Yeah.
Yesterday there was a cereal sale. It was
Okay.
cereal day. I just heard about this. It blew my mind.
Okay.
Somewhere, all cereal was $1. And apparently, people were lining up out the fucking doors
Cereal
for
day.
cereal.
I'm gonna look that
He's like, I'm
Someone-
writing that down. He's like, cereal $1.
I'm gonna make sure
Ah,
it's
boom.
real.
Oh yeah, no, look it up. It's good.
It's like next podcast. We're gonna be ripped. We're gonna be so high it's legalization date.
We're gonna be
Dollar
eating
cereal.
cereal.
Did they really
fucking
get all the cereals at $1?
Stupid.
Sugar Crisp, Raisin Bran, Fruit Loops.
You guys both said Fruit Loops at the same
Did they
time.
get it?
It's the best one.
Honeycombs, bro.
So apparently, Vancouver Airport is now being deemed the coolest airport because they're letting people smoke before their flights and shit. They're making a big deal over nothing. I looked into it. They're just being like, yeah, you can smoke your doobies outside the terminal before you go and get your flight.
But isn't that where everybody can smoke?
Exactly.
In the tobacco areas?
Exactly. Yeah, so they're making a story out of nothing.
They're just promoting it.
This is a
Being like,
example
we're super
of
friendly
just
about
be
it.
just pay attention to what you're reading. There's gonna be a lot of fluff come Wednesday. Who's gonna have the coolest setup and shit? But I said a lot of just people trying to make like fluff articles and shit
money
just
out
to
of
fill.
nothing.
Just
Yeah.
it's just clickbait and stuff
No,
right
I
now.
get that 100%.
It's going to be crazy for a while once Wednesday rolls around. I was thinking about it too. It's not going to be like Canada-wide all at once. It's going to be midnight for each province. So really, St. John's is going to be like the first place to buy legal weed in the fucking world.
As it makes its way,
As the sun
to the West Coast, right?
comes up. Yeah.
And then BC gets it last.
Yeah, well, they've had it forever, right? But I mean,
They've had it forever, but the thing is, nobody's really gonna have it on legalization day. Legally, nobody really has.
right, you're right.
Rec weed
It's funny. The only people in every province except
are the people that
Newfoundland
actually can go buy it at the store.
illegally. No, the people who get it, or the people who will have it on Wednesday, will be the people who get it illegally.
No, but you can. The retail stores.
Not in Ontario though.
Well, not in Ontario.
Just Newfoundland.
Yes,
yeah.
you know what I mean, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was the whole thing. Like Newfoundland set up in St. John specifically. It's something called Farmgate, and I've looked this
Yeah.
up, and that is what it's called. And it's the dispensary attached to the
liquor
fucking,
stores.
No, to the LP. To the LP, so that they have the giant production facility, and then you can go in, buy your weed there, all your shit. And I'm pretty sure they'll register you for tours and if you want to get a prescription and all that. I'm interested to see if there's still going to be like the huge. Of course, there won't be, right? The huge hype over like getting your prescription and stuff after.
Not anymore, no. But it's crazy though. Like, not a lot of people that are going to be smoking on legalization day are legally going to be smoking. They're going to be like, "Oh, so hyped about it."
The weed that you'll smell outside will be illegal weed, right? Because
All of it.
We've
all
all
of it.
bought it.
But
yeah.
do you know how many people are going to be smoking on
What
that
about
day?
homegrown weed? I guess homegrown weed's legal though. It's legal to
All
carry
of a
up
sudden-
to 30
all
grams.
of a sudden it's
all
legal.
Of a sudden.
All
Where'd
of a
you get
sudden-
this fucking homegrown
Oh
from?
shit! It just grew in my house in the
Fucking
last
just showed
24
up in my
hours.
pocket, son.
Somehow in the 6 hours since it was legal, I grew it in my fucking bedroom. And you know what? It's the best weed ever.
See, special genetics. They planned it at midnight, and we're smoking it at 8 a.m.
I did a lot of gene splicing and a lot of tissue culture, and here we are now smoking my 6-year-old, fully mature flowered weed. And I hope you enjoy it. Happy legalization day.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. We have to figure out what we'll do for that. I think I'm coming to a close here.
I have fun things to talk about.
Oh shit, Sydney is coming in to revitalize this bitch.
I don't know.
You missed it, but Niagara College issued a legitimate statement being like you're allowed to smoke weed wherever tobacco is smoked on campus.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
I actually heard that residents, you're allowed smoking outside residents
And
too.
tobacco.
Oh, it's a smoke spot.
Marijuana.
Oh, that would be a better place to smoke. A little picnic table there. Sign me up.
There's new picnic tables there.
Sign me up. Fantastic. What about around the back too? Is there tables and shit? Oh, game changer. The stoners will take over the world.
Yeah, stoners are gonna take over residents.
You got much
I
stuff?
can't. Oh my
stoners,
god,
the
people are fucking calling me.
About what?
Be like, hi, you're on CANCAST.
No.
I think
She'd be
Wednesday.
like, what the
I think
fuck?
Wednesday I'm just gonna plug in my phone and call a bunch of people and be like, happy legalization.
Do
day."
it.
You're on CANCAST.
Yeah.
Do it.
My name is Craig, and here's the people around.
That's please.
I might.
No,
I
do it.
wanna
Give me a
make
call.
it awesome.
Give me a call.
I
With
wanna make it
Griffin.
awesome.
If
Oh,
I'm
I
at work,
thought
fuck
you
it.
were
If
gonna
I'm
be
on
on.
break, give me a call, and I'll be like, hello.
What are you doing over there, miss?
What?
Thinking of
I
topics.
thought you were going to talk about
Oh,
something.
I don't know if you want me to talk about it, but I was going to talk about last night.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah?
Please.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait,
we've had
wait.
enough
Yeah?
talk.
While
I
you
want
were
to
at-
talk to you about video games soon, so, like...
Yeah.
While you were out with friends, you mean?
Yes. So I went to this
Because
thing called the Ladies'
wait. Let
Night.
me pause.
We're not
no,
gonna
no,
give any
no,
names
Syd,
'cause it's
Syd,
a really
let's pause this
private
before you
thing.
continue. Do you know you left the oven on?
Yeah, I know.
Let's go.
I know.
It was just really fucking hot in the kitchen. I was confused.
I was really fucking mad when I
You could have
saw
blown up
that.
the house.
I know. I was really fucking mad. I was just like, wait, I wasn't in the fucking kitchen. Like I don't.
Making
I wasn't making. I didn't eat anything.
Mhm.
And then
Them
I didn't
goodies, they're
realize
good,
that
they're
I
good
made
and all, but, like,
brownies.
Blowing up shit while she's at it.
Not worth. Yeah, burning down the house.
All right, so last
Burning
night,
down the
ladies'
house.
night
So
at
last
a
night-
nondescript
That's the song I'm
place.
using.
Yeah, very. We're gonna not.
We don't
name
talk about it.
anything. What happened at ladies' night stays at ladies'
The
night.
ladies.
I know. I'm gonna talk about what like it is, like what a ladies' night.
We all know what ladies' night really entails, but
So
like,
tell me what you think ladies' night is. Okay. I'll be back.
So, I guess we're gonna just talk about something real
Mhm.
quick while he comes back. Shows. Wait. Can we do a quick ASMR while he's gone? Hey, Griffin.
what's up? Me.
I can't.
Sydney.
We did a quick ASMR.
Sydney.
I'm sorry.
If you could hear it on, listen.
No, but Sydney couldn't even do it. Like I just.
I
threw
couldn't
her.
really
Get on with
do
your
it.
fucking lady story, please.
It took her like
I couldn't really
half
do
a second
anything
and she
because
was
he's
gone.
fucking just.
CANCAST
too
9,
good.
ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to
He's
squeeze this
too
one in
good.
before legalization day. I had the number 10.
Like, know kind of the sensitivity of what like a clit would be like. Put like a
You mean the
vibrator on the
clitoris?
tip of your nose.
What a load of bullshit.
I don't know. I'd believe it.
I feel sorry for you if you
it's
believe
just like
it.
we all passed around at.
We all literally passed
Tried A,
around
B,
fucking
yeah.
vibrators and we're
around
putting
our-
them
we
on our
put it on
noses.
nose full of lube, and we were just like,
Yeah, that's exactly what we did all night. It was great.
If you could simulate that like that easily, that sucks. It sounds interesting.
Because
was a
like then
good
what? Are you
fucking
coming
time.
out of
I'm
your
glad
nose?
you
Are
had
just
fun.
Sneezing constantly. If it's the same feeling as a clitoris, like, are you just coming out of your nose?
Is
Like
that?
it's just boogers on.
Do you have
boogers
more
and
stories?
Well, there was like crazy things you could buy. There was like, okay, so like on average, I don't know if I can say like should say this, but no one's gonna care.
Please do.
One like vibrator. There was this one. It's called the Main Attraction,
Okay.
and it was $259,
Whoa.
and that's like
Whoa.
that was like roughly like around like how much one of them would be.
It was
like,
a dildo or a vibrator?
A vibrator. It was
Okay.
insane. Oh my
Okay.
god. It was like this, like shaped like this, of like a dildo, and then it would come around and it had like another smaller one. You've seen those?
Like a, they look like dolphins, right?
Kinda.
Rabbit?
Kinda a little bit. And then, but then on the little one, it had a little nipple thing that had its own vibrator. Like there was two separate, like
So it's a
the
rabbit.
This is
small
fucking
one.
hilarious.
So
Yeah,
that's
it was a rabbit.
vibrator.
It was a
It's
rabbit.
vibrator.
It
Yeah,
was
so
rabbit,
it's- yeah.
but it was really cool because like the big part and the little part had two separate like
yeah,
motors.
that's how they work. Yeah.
Not a lot of them.
There's a well,
Only
Griffin's
the
an
higher
expert.
tech. Yeah, I guess.
no,
And
I've just,
fucking rabbits.
I've just seen a couple
Loves
of
them.
rabbits in my lifetime.
Oh yeah.
I've been down the rabbit hole. A couple
Ah,
If you will.
that's a good one. I like that. I've
What
been
can I
down
say?
the
I just
rabbit
died.
hole. That's good. Well, I think that's about it, folks. That's a good way to finish her off, I think.
Is that it?
I think
That's
so.
not a
Yeah, I
toothpick.
don't
That
have. There's
toothpick?
toothpicks behind you too.
Oh.
Oh, Markham Mayor. I guess I can close it off with weed news. Markham Mayor. Sorry, mayoral candidate, because he thinks this is going to get him votes in 2018.
In Markham?
Markham. So up northern Toronto, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep. He says,
Oh my God.
and I know there's an LP around there, I want Markham to be marijuana free. Good luck with that, man.
Cannabis free.
And
It's
I
not
think,
going to happen. The whole world's not going to be
I
cannabis
think I'm going to
free
leave
come
it with
soon.
that. We covered hyacinth technology, or hyacinth biologicals there, trying to do GMO weed.
I'd like to see him say that, though, Craig, in a year from now.
When the money's rolling in? Yeah, true.
And the tax money's paying for this arena and that clinic and
Last,
this and that and that.
Last podcast, we talked about how Banff and Jasper specifically said like they're trying to like limit the cannabis use in the cities and stuff. I haven't heard. Well, it's not going to happen for. Well, they're not going to have dispensaries and shit around the
touristy areas.
around like the natural areas and stuff. But you know what? I think that's fair for a couple of reasons, because you don't want any more people fucking smoking around the goddamn forests than are already there. You know what I mean? If you're bringing tourists in who don't give a fuck, I've already been there and I've seen the tourists who don't give a fuck already. If you add the stoners, you know what I mean,
It's a
who
whole different
are
ballgame.
just looking for a nice cozy spot in the woods to smoke, then Ember catches. And worst case scenario here, people obviously, but I haven't heard anything about Niagara. I haven't heard a goddamn thing when it comes to dispensaries. You said there's a dispensary around town, didn't you?
There was. It was there for a week and a half and gone.
Oh, true. Okay. So maybe there's just plans for the OCS for Niagara
I
because
don't
of the
even think the
tourism
OCS
thing.
is going to make it to Niagara.
You don't think so, man?
Maybe one, and watch it be like Beamsville or Fonthill.
You got to think of the tourism thing. I think Niagara Falls will take advantage of that. We are as close to Las Vegas as anything in the fucking country. Really, right?
To Las Vegas? God, no. Look
What
at
do you
BC.
think? BC is fucking Las Vegas?
It's closer to Las Vegas, yeah.
No, I'm talking not proximity.
Oh,
no,
you mean,
I mean like
you mean in the atmosphere
context and
atmosphere.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Okay, yes.
So I could
No,
see
you're right. Yep,
something
you're
else.
right.
Something else we talked about last.
Even though it's far from, even though it's
It's leaps and
Garb.
bounds. Oh yes. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like Las Vegas is starting to. There's a company called Planet 13 who's going to open like I called it. Excuse me. Whoa. I
a
called it like
Robitussin.
the. Thank you.
Fuck up.
No problem, sir.
Wow. I called it like the Walmart of weed that they're going to be getting. So like a huge fucking facility like right off the strip for people to be able to walk to. Closest thing that people are going to like. Closest available cannabis to them, like to the Las Vegas Strip, right? So they're going to make money. And you can imagine like people come to Niagara Falls for a little bit of tourism. Think about all
you can
the
get to Clifton Hill if you can buy weed.
all the fucking college university students on the border states coming up here for a weekend on the regular.
Well, the closer you can get to Niagara Falls and buy weed, they're like, imagine all the bed and breakfasts that are going to start doing micro grows. Imagine if that was a thing.
Fuck?
Yeah.
That'd be because like some of the, I'm not gonna lie, some of the bed and breakfasts that are on the river there.
Who the fuck is that?
My friend from like Welland.
Some of the pause on that, whatever the fuck that was.
Somebody's
some of
creeping around her cat.
What's that?
Somebody's creeping on her cat.
That's fucked.
Outside.
Yeah, super weird.
But there's some bed and breakfasts on the Niagara Parkway that already have greenhouses like started in their like backyards, so to say. And if they started making those little tiny micro grows, there's like maybe growing like 10 plants and selling them at an extravagant price to tourists as consumers. I could see that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, you'd have to apply for a license, but I could see that being.
I could see them doing that though. So you said you saw somebody creeping on your cat.
Someone is literally here creeping.
Did you hear
outside.
about what happened to my cat?
I heard briefly, like, is it gone?
Yeah, as of now.
That's so fucked up. What happened?
Well, none of my roommates want to tell me who it was because it definitely wasn't me because I've had animals in the past, and I know I always shut the door. Like, I make sure it's shut or
Yeah,
locked
you even
behind me.
here do it.
And nobody wants to say it, but fucking, I guess the door was open for a while, and my cat got out. Yesterday, I was out on foot for like 3.5 hours, putting up posters, looking around. For fucking, like, I'd say half an hour, I was literally running. Because, like, a couple people called me saying they saw my cat, but it wasn't my cat. I was fucking running like a fucking motherfucker trying to find her. Was out for, like, maybe 2 hours today. Still couldn't, saw nothing. Put up a couple more signs. And, all I can hope is for the fucking best. It's fucked, though.
Yeah, hopefully someone finds her.
People suck, man.
Well,
It's so fucked. You can only hope.
yeah, it's
People respect.
What's behind you?
someone
Behind your house.
darkness.
Is it like forest or is it like
Another house.
Okay.
Yeah, because, like, I've even looked in the backyard. I looked over the fucking fence to the next backyard.
She's not an outdoor cat, right?
No, not
No.
at all.
So she's probably close.
And that's why I've looked so hard. Fucking nothing.
Yeah, hopefully she turns up, man.
I even had food out on my back porch.
Yeah, keep doing that. Because she might not just know how to get home. I don't know.
She might be like, this is where I came from, this is where I'll go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, people suck sometimes. You see it firsthand more often than not. It's, I don't know. You just gotta pick the good ones, right? It's hard to sometimes, but, it's living and learning. All about living and learning, right? Hopefully Kitty's okay.
Hopefully.
It's not winter yet, so that's good.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think we're winding down here.
I think we're ready to back out.
Oh, fuck, man. You been playing any GTA lately? I want to get into a couple things. We'll leave off on a higher note.
Okay.
Have you been playing much lately?
Last couple days, maybe
Not much now, I guess.
3.5 hours.
Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, I've been busy, but definitely want to log the last couple hours before Red Dead comes out.
What day is that?
That'll be on the 26th. I get back on the 27th, and I'm not coming home
Syd,
unless I have
tonight
that in my
we
hand.
have to get an Airbnb. We have to
Oh
book
my
it tonight.
gosh, do we have to get the Airbnb?
Well, we have to get something.
Okay, fuck this. You guys, this was fun. Thank you very much.
Hey.
Always a pleasure.
Wait. Everybody pause for 5 seconds. And then after that, we'll come back. You can edit it, and it'll look like we just edited it and edited it really well. So, 5,
Made so much
4,
work for Craig.
3, 2, 1. Everybody, I had a great time. Syd came in last minute. Craig, I want to thank you for having me again tonight.
Thanks, buddy. CANCAST 9 in the books. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Happy legalization. It's going to happen in a couple days.
Wednesday,
Everybody, good luck.
coming round the mountain.
And we'll see you soon.
No, that's not the outro song. It's not the outro song. It's not the outro song. No!
Yeehaw!